merciless. It is Team Spirit who are unstoppable. They will take it. The best team in the whole goddamn world, without a doubt. Silence every...
Hey, what's up guys? Torte de Lini here. I was at the International 12 where I witnessed Team Spirit winning their second Aegis, and it kind of made me curious of how they pulled that off, dropping only 2 games in the entire tournament. Most people like to talk about their overall playstyle and hero diversity, but I think there's magic in their team fighting and a strong reason they win on top of everything else. So let's break it down. So here we are with going to be Team Spirit versus Gaming Gladiators at the grand finals. You can already see the lineups for both teams. It's pretty standard, nothing too crazy, right? Muerta for the damage with Morphling comboed up. You got the Wraith King and the Prowl Beast for that sweet initiation tank ability. And then for Team Spirit, you have Faceless Void as initiator with Magnus, Pangolier as a follow-up or even a continuance of ganking or initiation, and a Grimstroke Enchantress enable plus keep the team overall healed. Both teams come out really interesting in this fight. Overall, however, you're going to see the kind of the beauty of Team Spirit with this engagement. Let's take a look here for a second. Already Team Spirit already taken down, trying to take down at least Roshan. Primal Beast coming in fast. Quinn, let's ignore the fact that he's super awkward as Primal Beast, and already you can see how this team in their rush to get down Roshan, or stop Roshan rather, you can see the team is kind of separated pretty badly here, right? You can see Morphling, Wraith King should be more up front. You can see Muerta should be a little bit behind. You can see Primal Beast gaining some sweet distance from the team because he really wants to get in on that fight early on. And then as they engage, Team Spirit pick up the cue. They say, okay, we can't do Roshan. Let's pull on back here. It's super awkward. Let's go to our favorite hiding spot. They love this jungle. I don't know if people are just completely underestimating this jungle, but it is a hotbed of awkward vision and great hiding spots. Watch the split on Team Spirit as soon as the fight starts to go down. Here comes Primal Beast, checks for Roshan, dead shot, goes in to check Roshan. A little bit of redundancy from Gaming Gladiators with that Sprout to check for Roshan again, and that separation is really going to hurt them. Watch, Primal Beast is already on the jump and ready to initiate. They don't have the vision they hope for to see him, and you can see his team 3 in the back here when they should be more up front. This guy kind of trapped himself in on the corner edge of Roshan's pit. Primal Beast, whoopsie, he's gonna spot the Faceless Void. Faceless Void gonna says, I'm gonna get him. Jumps in, Magnus jumps in as well. There's the panic BKB from Primal Beast, and now the whole team starts to scurry over. They see that they are actually hiding in this jungle. As soon as Team Spirit notices that the fight is about to go down, especially with a wasted BKB from Primal Beast, they pull back and they separate. Watch the separation from them. Boom, separation. Supports go in the back. Pangolier goes out in some kind of middle-ish area where he can start the roll up without being spotted. Magnus, Faceless Void, already going to look to where they can jump with Chronosphere. Ranged hold from Nature's Prophet. That gives an opportunity. There's the ping for Morphling to come on through. He's going to do that. Wraith King, another redundancy from Gaming Gladiators, and this is why the separation is so nice. Look how they are completely untouched. So the moment they get initiated on by one hero, everyone else can follow through. Free reverse polarity by Magnus. No wasted Chronosphere from Faceless Void. These 3 are unready to engage, so these 2 are going to 100% just go down. What a waste. And now that the initiation reverse polarity is down, second initiation is going to come out for Team Spirit. There we go. Pangolier gets a nice roll up to hold down on Wraith King, and now they know Wraith King's done. Let's get that Chronosphere, the second initiation, if we ignore Pangolier. Goodbye, Primal Beast. Everyone else starts to scurry. Muerta and Nature's Prophet saying, let's get the heck out of here. We've lost everyone. Again, this is the match they played earlier in the tournament. Virtus Pro versus Team Spirit. Team Spirit, it's a deja vu. They're going to take down Roshan. This time, much more quickly than last time. They had an ultimate they can use with Muerta. They got the puck to hold him in place for Muerta to then kill him. You're going to love this engagement. Watch, they're going to take Roshan. Here comes Virtus Pro in the bottom corner. You can see over here in the map here for them already. Invoker's a little bit behind, and by a little bit, I mean significantly. They take Roshan. What do? They hired right back in the jungle that they love to see. Virtus Pro's a little bit more connected in terms of their engagement versus Gaming Gladiators. However, it's just also going to be just a very awkward game out here. Watch the engagement here. Boom, already gets a jump on Muerta. Where are the other 4 heroes? They think they have a jump on Muerta. Muerta has the Aegis, so it's a little bit of a miscalculation from VP. And what I'm really going to love is that you don't even see Puck in this initiation at all. Puck does not show whatever. There's Tusk. There's Muerta. Where are the other ones? You can't see on the map, but they're all the way down at the bottom. A little bit of a check ball from Muerta. Muerta's going to come in here later on. There's the first initiation from Dawnbreaker. Going to get a nice little play here. Phoenix, Bad Egg. No Invoker to show, so it's going to be a 4v5 now, 3v5 initiation and fight for Team Spirit. Team Spirit get the great ultimate from Puck. This gives a lot of great opportunity for Muerta to respawn, pop the BKB, gonna pop his ultimate, and there he goes down, complete takedown the rest of Virtus Pro. And that kind of shows the play map for our Team Spirit. They love to hide in that jungle. They love to lure people and bait people either in that jungle or gank from that jungle spot area. Again, the vision is really awkward there. But more importantly, what I really love seeing about Team Spirit is that they have double up on damage and initiation. Team Spirit's approach to team fighting is kind of what sets them apart from other teams. Even from the draft, teams usually have a sequential lineup that depend on one another to succeed. Spirit, on the other hand, they play more modular. Their draft is always 2-3 heroes that can start a setup or pull at the threat of another team to then take the fight in their favor. Collapse's Magnus is iconic because it obviously achieves 2 styles of initiation. Either brings enemies to Team Spirit's door with Skewer, or he snags a beautiful reverse polarity for Team Spirit to then come to the enemy's door instead to close out. Here's a sequential lineup for LGD, right? Centaur jumps in with Inkswell, Chaos Knight follows up, followed by the AA and Tinker as the additional damage backline. Tinker's a little bit of a weird pick. I don't think it was the best choice here. An interesting mix around versus Team Spirit, but even Team Spirit, like I said, they love that jungle. Even when they see the Shadow Demon get caught and soon the Elder Titan a little bit out of position, what do? They immediately pull back into the line here. They let Shadow Demon take his dirty work home with him. And look, they already back up. Centaur pops his ult because now he thinks it's an opportunity to initiate. Additionally, there's the positioning, the trifecta of the core lineup for Team Spirit in the perfect spread leg position to receive a funneling of LGD to engage. LGD takes the dessert, Shadow Demon. BKB with another follow-up from Kunkka. Magnus just baits his time, looks for the opportunity, grabs everyone into this funneled jungle that again is just a very awkward position for them. Terrorblade, typically this blink here would be very awkward if they were fighting at from low ground to high ground, but because they lured all of LGD into this awkward jungle where Kunkka's just having a blast, giving them the Guantanamo Bay treatment, they start to go to town. Look at that backline grab on top of Kunkka's hold. As I said before, modular initiation with Team Spirit allows them to either bring people to their doorstep, in this case Terrorblade, great reverse polarity, finish up the back line. Now there's no follow through at all for LGD, who seem to only get a Shadow Demon and an Elder Titan versus the amount of kills that Team Spirit Unite are very happy to receive. So do you remember that first team fight I showed you with Quinn's Primal Beast? You can see that exact modular initiation strategy at that fight where both Magnus and Faceless Void double up on initiating as Quinn, and Quinn panic pops that BKB. But also here again, you can see them sieging high ground. Collapses Magnus and Faceless Void are both great initiating heroes on top of the Pangolier. Gives them a lot of modular decision making that lets them chip away at an enemy's high ground, right? As you always had trouble in this meta kind of breaking away at high ground, what if you can kind of decide whether to take the high ground or force people to fight at the low ground? That's kind of Team Spirit's go-to plan. They like to chip away and kind of get through that to get an upper edge on Team Spirit. So instead of relying on reverse polarity or skewer to be the zoning initiating move, they can rely on each of their own individual initiation to play the man-to-man and, more importantly, interchangeably approach high ground to whatever seems more comfortable. On this high ground here, you can see that Faceless Void kind of plays around on staying on the high ground while the rest of the team stays in the back. That's very standard move for most teams at TI. But this is what I love the most, right? He's playing a little bit of edge there. There's the Magnus collapse, pushes someone off the high ground into the low ground. They finish him off, and Faceless Void, instead of trying to look for an opportunity that kind of grabs everyone in a zone to zone manner, they know now if I can just grab one person with my Chronosphere, that's going to be a great 3v5 situation instead of a 4v5 situation. There it is, perfect chronosphere. And now all the team has to do here is walk up to that doorstep that Faceless Void has perfectly followed through with. And for Quinn and for Gaming Gladiators as a whole, they just try and make do with what they have left because they know it's pretty much over. So my third point is kind of a cheap point. What I'm trying to say is that the way this team plays with their double initiation, double damage, but also they're split up, whether, you know, in that jungle or in a variety of capacities of fights, it has very independent thinking. Each player kind of plays independently from one another, but it leads to a cohesive function that's not only draft dependent, but it also comes from the players' understanding of one another, right? If you see someone go in and they're either caught out or die, there's still a complete trust that the decision that was made from that person is the correct one, or rather one that they can easily overcome collectively. So even when a hero is caught out and dies, you can still see a fight turn around in Team Spirit's favor. That trust is kind of only seldom achieved by teams who don't have roster changes every so often, right? I think they've only changed, I think, one player. I think it's Toronto Tokyo into Laurel. You kind of see, even with similar drafts from, let's say, Team Liquid or another team, they don't always work out in fights the way you hope because there's a lot of redundancies and a lot of sometimes damage dealers that are putting too much emphasis on, let's say, one kill as opposed to finishing up as many kills as possible. Let's talk about that game with Team Liquid, where Team Liquid actually have an interesting approach to their team fight here. They're behind by 18k, so it's a little bit of a cheap clip to show how good Team Spirit are, I admit. However, I really like Team Liquid's draft here. They got the Tidehunter with the Sven, with the Muerta for double damage. Tidehunter is going to be with a magnet to deny that from collapse, and that means they also have double great ultimates, right? Tidehunter is Ravage with reverse polarity from Magnus. However, even with that, I really like Team Spirit here. You can see they're fighting in their favorite spot, right? They love fighting in this jungle just so that's an awkward spot, never comfortable to kind of engage. And watch the Axe jump to Sven, and then watch the Chaos Knight decision making right after. They play modular. There's the Axe call. Here comes the Phoenix for the positioning. Sunray is going to go down. Chaos Knight, you can see here, he's not going to help with this. They trust one another to do a sufficient amount of damage to finish either those two off or completely put them in the red, so they're concerned about continuing this fight. Here's the positioning for Team Liquid. You can see they're not spread at all. They're playing really close together, which is a little bit scary. And again, it comes down to both the area of the fight that's awkward to play in, but more importantly, that there isn't a great functioning in terms of how this team is going to engage on this fight. So when CK gets feared out and now silenced, he pops the BKB right off the bat. Sven's going to try and finish them off. That's a great reverse polarity from the Magnus, and Tidehunter's looking for an engagement. He pulls off the back here, looks for kind of a blink Ravage. It's actually going to be one of the worst Ravages you'll see in this game. It's unfortunate too, because otherwise it would have been perfect. Pop the Ravage for basically two heroes that aren't that of concern. Phoenix already knows that his positioning is going to be key to the follow through on this fight, because Magnus is going to go down here real quick. Sven's already down. Here comes the Tidehunter. He's also going to go down. He's completely pointless after that Ravage, and now the team splits up, right? Phoenix working on Grimstroke. Axe going to work on this Muerta, which is quite lovely. These two heroes finish up the Tidehunter. There goes the Muerta. And then Grimstroke's going to get away. Yeah, while a lot of these ideas I don't think are exclusive to Team Spirit, I think their execution on it is exclusive by way of achievement. It's kind of a cheap way of saying they're just better than everyone. But if you like these breakdowns, please let me know in the comments and maybe I'll do some more.